Take it
Live,
easy.
live and direct. Yeah. Hey, so it's Randall Armstrong talking about Starman, a movie he's never seen before, and your host, Mr. Rourke. Welcome to Fantasy Island. I've never seen this movie before either, which has outraged and stunned everyone I know that I have told today. Hey, Randall and I are watching Starman. They're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I've never seen it. Literally, more than 5, but less than 10 people went, what? So I thought that was awesome. Like, that's how I feel like whenever I read something you write on Facebook, like all the time. What? How does he not know that? All right. So there's not a lot of that. Like, people have formed their opinion about me already. So like, it just seems like a John Carpenter movie starring the dude from Big Lebowski would
Yep.
have been something I would have run across in the last 40 years. Anyway, do you want to tell your origin story, or do you want me to tell you why this slipped through the cracks?
Let's start with you, man.
I was going to college when this movie came out. So as I've said before, I didn't go to a lot of films. Yeah, anyway, I've gone into that. Broke as shit. Broke college student. So this was one of those movies. And then I just like never ran across it, or if I didn't care. It's like, oh, that's that dumb movie they made this show with Robert Hayes about. Like, I was more aware of the TV show than I was of that movie. Isn't that weird?
I always forget that there was a TV show.
Yeah.
And I like Robert Hayes because I'm also a fan of Airplane.
Yes. Who isn't? My son briefly wasn't, but that's because I made him watch it. He was too young and he kind of didn't get 2/3 of the jokes.
Same here. When I was a kid, like I never understood like the whole drinking problem.
Oh yeah.
And then like as I got older and my brother explained it to me, I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. And even just the surreal, like, American Monty Python absurdity stuff of, like, a hospital. What is it? It's
Building.
a big building with lots of patients, but that's not important now.
Yeah.
Like I would be dying laughing, and he was looking at me like, I don't get what's funny about that. That's a fact.
It's hilarious. It took me like a few seconds to get it, but there's a clip, like I guess it's a bloopers clip, or maybe it was just a clip from the TV show of Police Squad. But the guy was like, even blindfolded, I can take that guy. And he's like, yeah, but what if we took the blindfold off the guy?
Yeah, that sounds like them.
Yeah.
Man, I loved Police Squad to the point where you just said the word Police Squad, and I heard the theme music in my head. I love that show. And yeah, it looks like the Liam Neeson thing is going to be pretty good. But man, let's not talk about that, because I'll start talking about Fantastic Four. We should really talk about Starman, right?
Of course.
All right. So where were you when you sat down and turned it on? Like, what were your expectations?
I mean, I don't think I've seen a John Carpenter film that I haven't liked. So part of me is like, I'm sure I'm going to like it. The question is on, what level is the movie going to land on?
How cool is that? You could rate it, but it's on the John Carpenter scale. It gets its own elevated platform above Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan movies. That's awesome. Agreed. Continue, says the court of dorks.
And when I started watching it, like, one, I was kind of impressed with, like, I wasn't expecting, for some reason, I thought it was a low budget film. So I was just like, I wasn't expecting a lot of like special effects, So in that beginning of the movie, when you start seeing all the special effects and like, like I was just like,
right there for the time too. I mean, they didn't skimp on it.
No.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. Like when the ship crashed and you just saw like the giant explosion that engulfed, I was just like, oh, that's a good one.
Walker came in when I was watching the end of it, and he was like, lot of this movie's practical, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, they're doing, animated laser beams and stuff like that, but like the explosions are explosions. I mean, they did a ship thing, and he did this weird thing where he walked out unharmed from a gasoline tanker explosion
Yeah, yeah,
with a dead girl who he brought back to life. But when that was going on, the like 17 helicopters were coming at the crater right at the
yeah,
end. And I was like, look at that. And I was talking about the giant crater. And Walker's like, yeah, that shot would be totally CG. Like, how did they get the logistics arranged to just get all those helicopters there? And he made me pause the movie because he's like going through, he's like wargaming it, like all the scenarios.
yeah,
And he's like, I bet somebody in Carpenter's production team called the Army and said, when's the next time you're doing helicopter maneuvers? And we
yeah.
want to fly with you. And so here's a 6-pack of beer. And
Nice.
I was like, I don't care. That's headcanon. Every
Yeah,
time, the 9 or 10 more times I'll apparently watch this movie in my life, having only seen it once now, I will think of that every time.
nice.
I will tell people that story until they believe it like I do. Anyway, why don't you just tell me to shut up and go, man, why aren't we talking about Karen Allen's freckles or something, right?
I mean, I'll tell you what, man.
Plot. Why don't you do the plot?
Plot. Okay. Alien finds out about Earth, goes to inspect and see what's going on. Immediately met with hostile action. Finds a cabin with the beautiful what's her name again? Karen Allen?
Yeah. I was like, do you want the character's name? That's Jenny Hayden, because he can't possibly be asking for Marion Ravenwood's real name.
Right.
Anyway.
And, finds DNA and info on Jeff Bridges' character, who is already dead. And
man, the details.
Huh?
I said, man, the details.
Yeah. And becomes human. And now is trying to rendezvous his exit with the help of Karen Allen.
Man, that movie's so cool. I really enjoyed it a lot. There's all kinds of stuff that when he extrapolates an adult-sized human from DNA and hair follicles.
Yeah.
But when he comes out, he's holding those like 8 or 10 steel balls. I'm doing this off camera, like I'm looking like you guys can see what
like
I'm
you
doing.
Actually got the balls in your hand.
And that just was so cool because you didn't understand what it was at first, but you understand, oh, this is some kind of technology that he's going to need.
Yeah.
And then each little ball does something different, which was really cool. And then by the time he gets to the end and he saves Jenny because she's been shot by the redneck douchebags, he only has one left.
Yeah.
And that immediately puts the audience on edge, like something's going to happen and he's going to have to choose or whatever, that old Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
And then it ends up like, oh no, this is the big green crystal shard in Superman, because my kid needs to know the knowledge of where he came from.
Yeah, he'll know what to do with it.
Man, I was like, get back in there, Tyr.
He's going to be a teacher.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah. No, it was really neat. Like just the way everything was kind of like laid out. It's like,
yeah, nice. Can I tell Randall?
Yeah.
All right, man. The reason I was a little weird, I was super distracted. Walker just went to get his driver's license and he passed.
Oh, yeah. Sweet! Congratulations, man.
Get on camera, man. Start screaming. Oh, there he is. Nice job, pal.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So, Starman, obviously a cinematic achievement the world has never seen. Sorry. Yeah, that's cool. I'm a proud dad.
Now, it's funny. You mentioned the redneck cops, right?
Yes.
I learned something very interesting. I didn't catch it at first when I saw them, but when they were in the car and they were chasing after them, I took a much closer look at their faces, and I was like, these guys look really familiar. The first guy on the left, the one that's not driving, That the actor's name is Dirk Blocker,
Yeah.
right?
You
And
know who
he,
his do you know who his dad is? Because everybody watching is going, "Oh, look at Randall is tying his shoes. He's learning how to tie his shoes right pros." Anyway, go ahead. Dan
I don't know who his
Blocker's
dad is.
yeah, Dan Blocker's son Dirk is yeah, he's one of the cops. And does he play somebody famous in some kind of sitcom that you enjoy?
Yes, he's Hitchcock on good old Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
For extra credit, who plays him in the past? Hitchcock.
Oh, I know the other guy is played by he plays Reacher.
Oh, okay, that's who I thought it was. He plays Scully or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Okay, that's the guy who I was talking about. So
that's
you
what
get
you're
it.
thinking of, right?
You
Alan
actually answered
Richardson.
correctly despite the question being incorrect. So that's like double points. Nice job.
Thank
That
you.
gets
Thank
me
you.
to like, how would you ever know who Dirk Blocker is? That's for old people.
Dude, I mean, good old Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like, I never would have known who that guy was if it weren't for that show. And
Okay.
and then the other guy driving, that's let me see if I'm saying his name right. MC Gainey.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, who's a character actor who, like, I couldn't think of a movie specifically off the top of my head. The only thing that popped in my head that I knew for sure he was in was the Dukes of Hazzard movie with Sean William Scott and Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching it on Amazon, so I got that X-ray thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's MC Gainey because I know that actor, but I know him with a giant like Hell's Angels mustache.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, is that
See,
MC Gainey? He's in it for 2 seconds. So like, I was
he's the one that shot Karen Allen.
no, he not the cop didn't shoot Karen Allen.
Yeah.
What? A cop
Yeah.
shot her.
Because like they were chasing them, right? And then what's his name?
I thought
Pulls
it
out
was
the gun, and they're like, he's got a gun, and so they start shooting at them.
Oh yeah, so he did. I thought that it was really fast, so I thought it was the deer hunter guy.
No.
Oh well, that's awful.
It's the cops.
I'm not sure I could have felt more awful when she died. Like, did you see what I called this in the thumbnail? It's John Carpenter's E.T.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
It has so many similar beats, right?
Right?
But it's
trying to get home.
different. It's different enough that like a regular person going to the theater a couple of years apart would never put that together.
No.
But like super fans are like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was cool. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was great.
I was hoping you.
I was just going to talk about John Carpenter's style of shooting.
Yeah.
Like there's this great shot. He does it a couple of times in Escape from New York where he comes in across the water really low as he comes to Manhattan. And they did that exact same shot when they did the alien point of view as he's left the crash site and is looking to see like how he's going to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come in across the lake and it's the same kind of thing. And I was like, oh, right. This is John Carpenter shot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what was the last movie he directed? Was it Vampires?
I couldn't tell you. We spoke about this at the tail end last week that I only thought that John Carpenter did 2 movies, Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
I know he's done other stuff like The Fog and
I haven't seen that.
Ghosts of Mars. Yeah, I don't care about his other movies. I love his dystopian 80s thing. But I also love this one. So I'll throw this one in there. Now I have 3 John Carpenter movies I love.
That's great.
This one's just sweet. It's so goddamn sweet.
I still gotta watch They Live.
Oh, yeah, that's Carpenter too. Sorry.
Yeah.
4. You haven't seen They Live?
No.
All right, let's do They Live next week. We can call that right now.
All right.
I'm dying to hear what you have to say about that. Yeah. That's going to be an easy thumbnail. It's just going to say it's Obey. Black Obey on a big white screen. And when you
Nice.
watch the movie, you'll get it. Do you know what it's about, right?
Yeah, it's like what, like aliens posing as humans, and he's got like the X-ray glasses or whatever. He can see like which ones are aliens.
Yeah, but that's like the action movie way of looking at it. There's this crazy social commentary going on the whole time that because it's the only people who really can see them are the poor people. And it's because all the rich people are aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty dense movie. Although you can just watch it like I've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum. You can watch it there, but
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Tony's here. Escape from DORK and Big Trouble are both movies I watched on my sci-fi movie marathon. Kurt Russell's a god. Agreed. My phone thinks that I have so many pictures of Kurt Russell. It's because of his costumes, but still, a lot of pictures of Kurt Russell in my phone that it thinks it's like one of my friends. Google Photos thinks it's one of my friends.
Yeah.
And so I did it. I gave him a group. So there's like me and Steve and Mark and Mimi and Walker and Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
And every time I see that, it makes me laugh. Obey, yeah, see? Tony gets it. He's seen it. Meg Foster's in that movie, which she's very easy on my 1980s eyes. She's just one of those freaky women with dark hair and light blue eyes.
Yeah.
Where like her eyes just kind of look white all the way across with a little, maybe John Workman drew an iris and a pupil, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it really works in this movie. You completely believe that she's a crazy alien. Yeah, see? The old men have taken over, so you better start talking about Starman again.
Meg Foster.
There was some stuff in Starman that I was like, first of all, I thought it was cool that gas was a 99 cents a gallon. Did you see that when they?
No, I didn't even see the price, but
Yeah.
I did remember chuckling when he's waiting for her in the bathroom, and the guy walks by. He's like, "Waiting for the lady, huh?" And he's like, "Gas."
Gas.
He's like, oh, I know that. I know that problem.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that all across the movie, right? It has all these like really adorable notes, and even the stuff that doesn't really ring right now, 40 years later.
Yeah.
You give it a pass because it's like, oh, this movie didn't intend, a scathing indictment of like gay guys in the bathroom,
Yeah.
That was like just supposed to be a joke, and it played as a joke, and everybody at the time understood that was a joke, and I just watched that and I was like, man, I could write the Facebook thread if that movie came out today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was cute. I liked it. It was adorable, actually. Tugged at the heartstrings.
Oh, totally.
I love Charlie Martin Smith, or in this movie, he's credited as Charles Martin Smith. Do you know that actor who played Mark Sherman, the SETI guy?
Yeah, the movie that always comes to mind is The Untouchables.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he plays a really iconic version of himself in that, because he usually has, slick back hair and glasses.
Yeah.
Like he's in American Graffiti.
Which I haven't seen.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. That's a good one. It's actually formative. That's where George came from.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's not go down that route. I just watched this funny reel of Seth Green in a meeting with George Lucas. They bring up Mara Jade and he flips out and he goes, "I didn't create Mara Jade," and he slaps the guy. Like it's not Robot Chicken. It's like really George Lucas.
Yeah.
And it's like this 3-minute clip and it's hilarious. And I was like, man, good old George has a sense of humor. Because he like really cuffs the kid who says it.
It's the most life I've seen George like.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Anyway, so I'm like, I'm predisposed not to give George Lucas crap for 24 hours. Sleep easy, George. Anyway, let's see. What are the three? Tom Mason, who used to, I forget what he did at Malibu Comics, but it was a big shot thing. I don't know if he was the publisher or editor in chief, or frankly just the brains of the outfit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He said on my thanks, Tim. He said on my Facebook about this that this movie is part of his Karen Allen trilogy. So like, do you know her work enough to do this, or is this just for old people?
I mean, I remember what she was in Animal House.
Yeah.
Obviously Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and this. So
yeah.
So nice. So that's what I mean. That's I didn't even have to ask him what he meant. It's like, oh, those are her three top movies, no question. And you just proved it. Even a guy who's just kind of familiar with it, like, called it because it's so goddamn iconic, right?
Yeah, I love the fact that I think I remember one time there was a conversation about like who would have played a good Lois Lane back then, and immediately I was like, oh my god, that's right. Karen would have crushed it as Lois Lane. I would have definitely loved her way more than Margot Kidder. No offense to Margot
everybody
Kidder.
says that, but I get it from 1978, like, because Karen Allen in 1978. She's 73 now, so what is that? She would have been 28, right?
Yep.
Yeah, except she looks like she's 14, right? So nobody's really in 1978. Nobody's going to believe her as Lois Lane, right? And as much as we agree in the present, you could not be more right. Let's get that out of the way. It's just that, what's her name? Margot Kidder's like angular features, and like weird haircut and stuff. All the stuff that kind of puts her off to boys in the future is that's just right there for what you would expect that kind of sassy dame working in a man's world of reporter would look like.
I just think she just really impressed the hell out of Dick Donner, that he was just like, okay, you've got it.
This isn't bad. If you're talking, she's definitely, I get what you're saying. I don't really dig on Margot Kidder either, but it's undeniable that she's great. It doesn't. That's the movie, right? Like, you might want to swap it out, but pay your AI fee and put in a great teacher for all we care, right?
Yeah.
It's but the movie, it works, man. Totally works. Yeah. Tony's with me. She wasn't supposed to be sexy, which, I'm sorry, Karen Allen, like, being dead in a railroad car. I was like, what's the jeopardy here in the story? It seems like this should be a Act 2 crisis thing, end of Act 2 thing, instead of like they're going to a hotel. Tell me more, Karen.
No, I just love the fact that, like, she knows he's an alien. She sleeps with him, and it just makes me think, like, white women will they will do all kinds of stuff.
All right, I'm not gonna take sides either way, but just from a human being standpoint, like, your dead husband shows up in form, and is kind of like a baby giraffe that you've been helping through this thing.
Yeah.
And you finally get to the point where you're like, this is the weirdest goddamn thing ever. I'm just going to ride with it. Dude, there's not a skin-colored man or woman in this world that, given those circumstances, wouldn't have done the same thing, and half of them about an hour earlier. I mean, your heart is dead, man. You have a black chunk of coal for a heart. And
there's just a part of my brain like, that's an alien. Like, like, that's not a human being.
So you don't understand romance. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
There's not you wouldn't, if you were in that situation, I'm telling you.
I'm no Captain Kirk, man.
You wouldn't
even boldly go.
You wouldn't even have that thought. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Anyway. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid got his driver's license, so look out.
Yeah, dude, he's graduated.
See, look, this is the part you don't get. Karen Allen's performance just broke my heart. Because people that have souls And he even lives down near you in Florida, man. So it's
Yeah.
not like the weird state that you live in. I don't know.
I mean, it could be the age gap too.
I don't know. I was a sappy romantic when I was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You know, where's all that medieval poetry? That's what I need right about now. They haven't invented Game Boy yet, and we're all out of tissue paper. Anyway, I guess this isn't for kids now. I've been doing really good about my not swearing, but yeah, adult situations and humor, rude humor and mild peril. That's what we have here.
Yeah.
Is that like when Lois Lane sleeps with an alien? What an excellent point, Timothy. Answer yourself now, Randall. Is that the same problem there?
You know what? It is, but however,
So you're just a racist. That's all that is.
however, I'm a Superman fan, so I'm biased. I'm like, that's the one person, like, I let it slide.
I feel like I need Captain Kirk's translator from Star Trek 5. Answer the question, Randall. Don't wait for the translation. It's the same goddamn thing.
It is. It is.
Just say yes for humor because I'll just keep bringing it up because that's wildly funny. That didn't occur to me. Nice job, Tammy. Randall is a disaffected millennial. Wow, let's sell t-shirts in San Diego. Anyway, sorry I cut you off for the 1000th time. Probably like, every 10 seconds. That'd be a hilarious drinking game.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just learning to ride that canoe.
But you were saying, ordinarily I don't care. That's just how I talk. I really apologize. But I interrupted you saying kind things about my kid. So I wanted to say, you don't have to get back on that route, but I just want to say thank you. I heard lots of good stuff, playing football, graduating high school, getting his driver's license. We'll accept that all the accommodations are read, Admiral. We're not after that. But I want to say thank you. I appreciate you saying that because we're all quite proud of him over here.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and as you should be, man. As you should be. Like, I mean,
he's not my problem now. He's 18.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what's great too is, like, here he is. He's on his way, right? And it's also, a lot of it has to do with you and Mimi. Like, you guys are great people, great parents.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really
you're
blessed.
Just saying that because you still want me to adopt you, man.
It's true. It's true. I'll join the family.
Here comes Tony too. Got nothing but love for you, Randall. Oh, what a great question. Thanks for getting us back on track.
Starman
cast for main roles. Okay, just because I want to get it going, I'm going to go a little older than you expect for a romantic comedy. I'm going to go Sam Rockwell and Kate Beckinsale. That's where I'm at. I think Sam Rockwell brings that disaffected alien weirdness, just getting out of his car. That would be like a walk. And then Kate Beckinsale is just the present cutie of a particular his age appropriate.
So I'm torn between Tom Hiddleston and Michael Fassbender.
Oh no, Fassbender's not available. Hiddleston's great. Yeah.
Okay.
So who's the girl? Who's the girl you get for Hiddleston?
Rachel McAdams.
Oh, that works. Yeah. That's awesome. I like that one. All right, let's assume that my bias is I've read my Buddhist scripts for the day, and I think, all right, well, let's take a meeting with Fassbender. Who would you put with him as the girl?
With Fassbender?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was still thinking.
I just made myself laugh. Can I say it so you have time to think seriously?
Yeah.
I kind of mean this though. Fassbender and Sydney Sweeney. Would that be hilarious? You would watch the whole movie going.
No, you might as well just use Glenn Powell.
I get what they're doing, but this is just, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. That's kind of like, that's the streaming version. Like if it's just direct to your app.
It's a non-comedy version with the two of them.
Oh my God. You know what's so sad? Somebody has probably brought that up already.
Yeah.
Hey, is Starman available? We can remake them with those two. I just read this funny thing about his girlfriend, or longtime girlfriend, broke up with him because of the studio going, no, we can't invite her to events because we want everybody to think that you and Sydney Sweeney are an item.
Yeah.
And which is cool. You kind of know what you're signing up for, right? But Glenn Powell would be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And she's like, she eventually was like, well, wait a minute. I was reading this article in disbelief. I was like, how is this a 6-page article?
Oh my god. Yeah, I know. I know.
Anyway.
They get anybody to write articles nowadays.
Yeah, I got nothing. That's true. Everybody's got some kind of like podcast too, apparently, and they're guests on 3 or 4 others. It's insane. Anyway, nobody else, no other casting.
Gosh, I mean, like
Gerard Butler and Michelle Monaghan. But the trick is he has to keep his regular Scottish speaking voice.
Oh god. That would end up becoming more of a comedy. How about a comedy version of Starman, right? You know, like who'd be the leading man and leading woman for?
Isn't it kind of? I would make the argument it's a romantic comedy. I really would. It's just a dark one. It's dark as shit, but that's kind of what makes the comedy funny. You know?
I mean, all the funny parts I think essentially were Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, there's tons of comedic notes, like with the SETI guy and his boss, the Department of Defense guy, the cops, the all the waitresses, and I love that he has that line going out when they're like, what are you gonna miss? He's like, I really like the cooks. I thought that was awesome because I was just taking it for granted that was just parts of their setting as they went towards Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And the second he said that, I was like, oh yeah, all those guys were doing kind of heavy lifting in scenes, that they were exposition or ears for the exposition.
Yeah.
And then even that one cook guy like drives them a ways. When they get separated and he leaves, when he leaves without telling her because he doesn't know any business. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, brought that up just to put the cherry on top. Bradley Cooper and Jessica Alba. I love that. That would be like for Jessica Alba, that would be like John Travolta doing Pulp Fiction. She would crush that. Anyway.
I mean, I don't know about. I mean, I love Jessica Alba, I do, but for a movie like that and that kind of role,
dude, she's late 40s now.
No, I know.
No, she would crush it. We're not talking about 19-year-old Dark Star Jessica, whatever that show is called.
Yeah. Dark Angel.
Dark Angel. We're not talking about that. That was awesome, though. How would you like for James Cameron to see you and like go, you're not there yet, but you need some experience. So we're just going to do this show for 2 years.
Yeah.
Based around you, and you figure it out. And then we'll put
I think he's in Jensen Ackles on that show too.
I don't know. I didn't really watch it because it made me feel dirty, all the press they were doing about it.
Yeah.
Like because I was way older than her 19. And so I just stopped paying attention. And it wasn't, I mean, I watched a couple episodes, but they just kind of shot it like the old Max Headroom show.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything really James Cameron about it. So
okay.
I mean, to me as an audience member, so I just kind of bailed after a couple of episodes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd say the first thing I remember seeing Jessica Alba in was this fun like horror comedy called Idle Hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And such an interesting, funny film, man. Like she's obviously like, the love interest, she's the hot girl. Then you have like the comedic, sidekick guys. Seth Green, and I forget the actor's name, but I
totally remember this movie poster.
You remember the movie poster?
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I remember when you said Seth Green, I was like, oh yeah, all the credits like snapped into my mind's eye. And yeah, that's cool.
And then the guy who plays Foggy on the Daredevil show, he was in it too.
Oh, no kidding. I kind of don't know that guy's name.
Yeah, I always forget his name. But yeah, that's my first experience. As soon as I saw her, I'm like, who is she?
That's the
You know?
same time. I just looked it up. It's 1999.
Yeah.
So that's the same time as Dark Angel, right?
I thought Dark Angel was like 2001,
Okay.
2002, maybe.
How many years apart is that from 1999?
It's a couple years, few years.
I mean, just, ballpark. It's kind
Yeah.
of the same, right? Anyway, I'm not talking because I'm showing you Idle Hands. Hey,
Nice.
come on, that's a pretty effective poster, isn't it?
Yeah. It's honestly like a comic book feel to it. Like that would be like a cover I would see on a comic book.
It really does smell like a Eduardo Risso crime thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everything about that, the font for the title. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good call. It's got a lot of noir stuff going on there, and a lot of Saul Bass. Do you know that guy?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, Saulbass for homework. You have to look that up.
Okay.
He did all the fucking amazing title credits in the late 50s and early 60s.
Okay.
Like super cool animated stuff with bars of color and silhouettes of people, just like that Idle Hands thing. So,
oh, nice.
Maybe I'll just find some cool thing if you want to talk uninterrupted, Larry, about what are we doing?
We were gushing over Jessica Alba.
Yeah, but okay, you can keep gushing about her. I'm gonna look up this really cool gush about something.
Gush about something. Okay. Let's see here. Starman. I enjoyed Starman. Ranking wise, it's actually, believe it or not, probably on the bottom of my favorite, bottom list of the John Carpenter films.
Really?
But I'm still glad I really watched it. Like I was
love the horror.
Huh? The thing is easily in the top 2 John Carpenter films, maybe top 3.
I can't do it.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
It's me. It's not them, or it. I don't know the thing's pronouns. Must be them, right?
I mean, like,
there you go. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I chose one that has the same color scheme, so I'm kind of overloading, putting my thumb on the scale. But yeah, imagine all of these like legs and pieces going across as just shapes of color, and then you pull out and it assembles into a dead body. Very cool.
Almost has a Pixar feel.
Yeah, Pixar, especially The Incredibles, loves Saul Bass. Look at you go. That was awesome. That was a good observation. All right. Anyway, what's Timothy saying?
I've seen enough movies.
You've seen enough, but nothing any good. Like I'm sure you're all down with the Saw movies, but you haven't seen American Graffiti.
Well, I think I've seen like the first 4.
But
to me, those movies aren't like rewatchable.
Who's your favorite director? I know what this means. Just like the first guy that comes to mind. Right? Like right now, I'd say Werner Herzog, and that's clearly not true. But I'm like, no, I'm on a Werner Herzog kick.
I mean, part of me is torn between John McTiernan and James Cameron.
All right, that's fine. We'll go with both of those.
Yeah.
What's your favorite McTiernan film that's not Die Hard?
Predator.
Okay, that's not Predator either.
Oh shit! Die Hard 3.
Did he do Die Hard 3?
He did.
Yeah, I actually like that one.
Yeah.
About all the incessant sequels.
Underrated McTiernan film is, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Basic.
It's that underrated.
It's the movie's called Basic. It's got John Travolta and Sam Jackson.
I remember seeing the VHS case.
Yeah.
They're 2 faces like facing each other, right? They're 2 profiles.
Yeah. The cinematography, the directing
style. This is why Tony and I are friends. Herzog and Tarantino. Yep, yes. That covers it. Nice job.
I'm trying to think what Herzog films I've seen.
Which ones? Werner Herzog movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of any.
They're probably all very too sad for you. And would make you think about Germany and how you
Get
say
the baby.
goodbye.
Get the baby.
So yeah, okay. Now do the same thing for James Cameron. What's your favorite Cameron movie? I mean, Cameron movie that's not like The Island.
You mean like Michael Bay?
No, yeah. I'm sorry, I was going the other way.
I mean,
Cameron's got nothing but good movies, man.
most people usually say Terminator and Terminator 2, right? But I think over the years, I have to say it's probably True Lies.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's
That
just
certainly meets the ambition of Terminator 2.
yeah.
I think you have to give it to T2 because it was first. But nobody's gonna argue True Lies, you know? And in fact, True Lies has Charlton Heston playing Nick Fury in it. So what am I even saying? True Lies. Yeah. Fitzcarraldo. This is the movie you should see of Werner Herzog.
Okay.
It is fantastic. And in fact, Tony is so behind this movie that he sent me a copy. He like went and bought it and then mailed it to me as a gift.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you know what? That was awesome because that movie is fucking balls out amazing. It's basically, Apocalypse Now had Coppola's wife made a documentary called Hearts of Darkness, right? The Fitzcarraldo is Hearts of Darkness without Apocalypse Now being made because it was so fucked up.
Okay.
It's great. I loved it. The only thing I've loved more is my kid. That's how good that movie is. All right, there may have been a little hyperbole there, but still.
Fitzcarraldo. I have to remember that one.
I might go upstairs and even send it to you and go, this is from Tony, and send it and make you send it back to him when you're done. So he has to re-gift it to me. And all it did was like make us all spend $100 in postage for a joke. But that's what I'm doing. All right, freaking top. Yeah, Fitzcarraldo. We know what you're saying, man. It's all good. Nobody's getting dinged on their spelling, especially if it's talk to text.
Yeah.
I said James Cameraman a couple of times, I'm pretty sure.
By the way, can I mention something real quick? Marcos messaged me.
Go ahead.
And apparently Denny Villeneuve, I always mess up his last name. He's directing the new James Bond film.
Oh, cool. That's fine. I hope it's black and white and set in the 60s. Favorite director is Ridley Scott. Also a wildly defensible position. I'm kind of curious. Give us your top two, Tim. I would say for Ridley Scott, Blade Runner, because not only that is one of his best films.
Yeah.
That and 2001 are tied for my favorite films ever. Just beyond. And the only difference is one movie talks about what it means to be human, and it has spaceships and spacesuits and astronauts. And the other one talks about what it means to be human and has flying cars. So basically, that's two different movies talking about the same thing. So I really enjoy the takes of each one. So when somebody says, anyway, whatever, Blade Runner, Ridley Scott, Blade Runner, and Alien, and I love all his other ones. I love Gladiator so hard. In fact, maybe Gladiator even takes. I can't say it. I can't do it. Doesn't take But man,
he just needs to make Gladiator in space.
I think it's Blade Runner and then like a 17-way tie for number 2 because his movies are all just, even if they're not commercially successful, they're all just Swiss watches of movies. They're perfect. You may not like it, but they're perfect movies.
I'm kind of curious what Ridley Scott's first movie is.
Isn't it? It's that Tom Jones thing. What's it called? It's like a English countryside movie.
Okay.
I forget. It's the guy's name, the main character's name, and like Ryan O'Neal's the star. Pretty sure that's right. Tony would know. Oh, Kubrick. Yeah, that works. Yeah, Randall wants to watch Blade. You've seen Blade Runner, right?
I made sure because I was very excited for Blade Runner 2049
Oh, okay.
because I'm a
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling fan. So I was like, I've got to watch the original Blade Runner before I see the sequel.
gotcha.
And so I was happy that I watched it finally and went into the movie theater and watched 2049. It was just like, oh, this is so great. Like just, going through that experience.
Agreed. If you had any sense, if you were interested in 2049, you had any sense, you watched Blade Runner
Of
before
course.
you went.
Oh, of course.
And
Plus, I mean, just years and years of hearing how great Ridley Scott, did on that movie. I mean, it was a crime. It's a crime to not watch Blade Runner, and
it should be. It should be a crime to not watch Blade Runner.
oh yeah,
Oh, speaking of, I am wearing the Nostromo cap.
nice,
So,
nice.
speaking of Ridley Scott, all these moments will be lost in time. Yeah, there's a great book called Future Noir. It's basically the making of Blade Runner. And it has like an entire chapter of that shoot on top of the building where it's rain, the tears and rain thing, and
Yeah.
how that happens. And yeah, what a great
I
movie.
I will say this though. I will say this. I haven't done a rewatch of Blade Runner. I've only seen it once.
You're still a good guy.
Yeah. I know there's like 5 versions of the film, so part of me is like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to check out the other versions and see if I can notice the difference.
Not only do I have the 5 versions in the cool Voight Kemp thing with all the cool shit, I actually have the secret cool unavailable White Dragon cut, which is bananas. This cool super fan just collected all the behind the scenes stuff, and even went so far as to animate scenes from script pieces that should have been included. And it's like 5 hours long, and
Wow.
if you're a Blade Runner fan, it is insanely awesome to see it, because everybody's seen all this stuff except for the animated stuff. That's he did that because he's an animator.
Yeah.
So like just getting, nobody really can talk about it because it's super illegal and it's super bootleg, and he doesn't, you got to know a guy who knows him to get it,
Yeah, yeah.
or like make somebody copy it for you, or I don't know. But part of what, when he gives you your copy, part of it is he says you can't copy this, and I take that very seriously because
Yeah.
I make copyrighted stuff for publishing, and I get where if you do something that's kind of in that gray area, and the gray is pretty much charcoal gray, that you're bootlegging somebody else's work, you want to keep that on the down low to people who seem like they don't have an interest in fucking all the other fans, know. So everybody kind of keeps it on the down low, to the point where somebody, I can't believe I'm talking about it. Come to think of it, that's how happy I am about yesterday was Walker's birthday, and today he got his driver's license, which I'm sure was nothing. The waiting in line was probably the worst part of it for him. He's a really good driver.
Oh, just the anticipation, right? He's like, man, I can't wait to get it. And then boom, you got it.
Fletch, I don't know. Oh, yes. Oh my God, I love you, Tony. So this, as you're probably not surprised to hear, is from 1979, right?
Yeah.
So this is the real thing. And so I tell my dickhead prop fans that this is screen accurate. And they're like, it's not. The hat in Alien, it was a patch so they could poke the thing out. It's not the same thing. It's really close, but it's not screen accurate. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 100% screen accurate. And they're like, what? No, it's not. Here's another photo. This is the photo from the other way. And I'm like, oh, you're talking about Alien. No, this is screen 100% screen accurate to Fletch, to the point. The point is that just the way, I don't know, this side, you can see this little bend, like how it sits. It's really flexible kind of fabric. And there are 3 scenes where Chevy Chase is wearing it. It looks exactly like this. Like you take my hat and put it on his head and go, yeah, what's the difference? Anyway.
Did John Hamm?
Sorry, I get all excited.
Did John Hamm in his version at least have a hat like that in the background?
No, that would have been cool, but he wore a Lakers hat the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool. Yeah, man, I love his version of Fletch. That was great.
I still haven't seen it.
Do you know anything about that character besides the Chevy Chase movie? Like, have you read any of the books or?
No, I'm not a book reader.
See, you and me should not do Fletch because I like Fletch about as much as I like Star Trek. So he's a wise Kraken writer, you know?
Yeah.
So like kind of dig Fletch a lot, and the writing is just fantastic. Anyway, you think I interrupt you now? You would just sit there like that and listen to me for an hour talk about Fletch.
You know, what happens is we're talking about Fletch, and like little by little, I just seem to be like getting farther away from the screen.
Yeah. You could
and
just
to the point where like you're talking about Fletch, and I'm like right here.
You could probably just get up and go to the bathroom for like 20 minutes. And I'd just be like, oh, I guess Randall had to go. And I'd do this. I'd go, I guess we want to talk about Fletch now. Anyway, Captain Dallas approves of that hat. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but I did the whole alien uniform. So I have that cool ass jacket. And it's not one of those ones from Etsy where they use, something from a Swiss motorcycle jacket with buttons. It looks nothing like the bait. It's the real RAF Mark II jacket, dyed the appropriate color.
Nice.
With pink piping put in. I learned how to fucking do that. So yeah, I have the whole outfit, but I only put that on special occasions. I did the shoes, man. They're PF Flyers, but instead at the shoelace itself, it has a little loop of leather riveted in, and a D ring on the end of that. So the middle of your shoe, where the laces cross, is just this mess of tech, and it's really. When I was a kid and I first saw that movie, I was like, "That's the future. I love that.
Yeah,
that's awesome." So when I got this hat, I was like, "I need the shoes." And now I'm just missing the belt. Once I get the belt done, I'll be 100%.
Nice.
I love doing cosplay. You know that.
Yeah. I wish I had more money and more time to do it myself. I've always wanted to cosplay as Indiana Jones. I'd like to cosplay as the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Dude, see, here's the thing. It doesn't cost a lot of money, especially Dread Pirate Roberts. You have a black shirt, you have black pants, you have black shoes. That's 3/4 of it. Now just take a black bandana, cut the holes out. Oh, now I got to find a sword.
Yeah.
Done. Anyway, we'll get back to that because I have some advice for you. But Timothy Connolly of Las Vegas, Nevada, our own ukulele hero, says, "I'm confused. Why do so many versions of Blade Runner exist?" I too, sir, am confused. But that's like saying, "Oh, our town has too many pretty girls."
My guess is
cool.
my guess is that. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just doing the metaphor about, I'm glad we have 5 versions. It's because the first one was studio cut.
Yeah.
And then they realized, I don't know if Sir Rid was agitating for this, or if they realized that they could really make some money back if they had another theatrical release of Blade Runner. And Ridley Scott went, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll sign off on that, but let me make some tweaks. And you can call it the director's cut. And then there's a reason for everybody to go see it." And they went, "Great, money everywhere." And then there was, but at the time of the first one, there was an international cut, whose main difference is when Roy Batty kills Terrell, puts his thumbs in his eye sockets, and they show it.
Oh, nice.
And so that didn't make the cut for the US release. So there's a couple other minor things, some sound stuff that's different, but it's a legit third release, right? Or that's the second release. Then there was the director's cut. and then whatever happened after that. There's 2 more. I don't think there's. I think there's only
Extended cut?
one more. What is it? The ultimate cut? You said something like that.
Well, no, I was going to say extended cut, right?
Extended. I don't think there's 5 cuts. I think there's 4 because there's 5 discs in that set, and 1 disc is all the deleted scenes, and there's an alternate cut. Maybe that's what we're talking about as the 5th one, if that counts. There's a cut where they use different shots of the same scenes. Stuff's paced different, edited a little differently. Yeah, it's cool. That one's cool because it's like watching Blade Runner from the Fantastic Four universe, right? It's like, yeah, this is a completely movie I'm familiar with, but wait, that's not there. Oh, but wait, that's where I spilled acid last season. That's a Star Trek reference. Anyway, now that I brought up Fantastic Four, and we're getting close, we got another 4 minutes, and I got to go talk to my kid and make dinner.
Yeah.
But tell me what you think of that last trailer, man. I know you saw it 100 times.
I saw it a few times.
No lie, I watched that off and on all day.
Yeah.
That's how much I like that. It was fucking great.
I mean, I'm 100% convinced. Like, once again, Johnny Storm will be the best character of the movie.
I think they're all going to get their time to shine, man. This looks like they're doing it right.
They will get their time to shine. But he's still the closest, best adapted version of the character.
Oh, I agree. What's going to be cool too is when they come into the MCU, like, he's going to be literally unaffected. Like, he's just going to be like, great, fast cars and cute girls. I'm good. Hey, fuck you, thing.
I can see him trying to be buddies with Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, of course. They wouldn't have to try. Of course they'd be pals, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking. It's so funny. I kind of want to see all these movies already so we can get to what they do after.
Yeah.
Because, like, they have to do some kind of DC crisis thing, because I have to see the Avengers Tower and Baxter Building, all those guys all in the same New York,
They should have just rebooted it.
I mean, maybe they will, right?
Well, there's rumors or talks that it's going to be what's the term? Kind of like a semi reboot.
Soft reboot.
Soft reboot. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, they're keeping everybody, but, like, hey, this is what it is now and going forward, and so we'll see. I mean, X-Men. I think a lot of the stuff that we see now, it's not going to matter once X-Men, gets involved. Like, X-Men is just going to take over the MCU.
Oh, you think?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're going to see this huge boom of the X-Men if they direct it well, if they adapt it right.
I'll go see them, but I won't care.
Yeah.
And because of streaming, I used to buy them all. I used to buy the 3D versions with 1800K and shit, and I just don't now.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, that whole revenue thing just went away. I don't keep buying the Disney. I mean, we subscribe to the Disney Channel, right?
Yeah.
But, like, that's a known factor. I don't have to be like, oh, here's another $30 because that came out, right? Yeah. I don't get how they make money anymore. But I don't care. Give me real ass Galactus, man.
Right.
That last trailer, just everything about it was amazing. I get everybody loves, Crypto's so cute and everything. And I'm like, oh, just give me that Fantastic Four, like, just straight into my veins, man. Don't cut it with your stupid baby laxative. I don't want that street Fantastic Four. I want the cosmic, the power cosmic Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And it looks like I watched that movie like I don't know.
There's
the trailer, it was great.
There's a part of me that hopes that the Ultimate Nullifier will be in that movie.
Well, I mean, I looked at that so much today that I kind of feel like I figured out some of the movie. I mean, the whole thing goes from pregnancy to Franklin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's at least a year. Ben's got his rock beard, which I thought was awesome. Everybody else was like, what? I'm like, shut up. I don't care why. I don't need to know how it works. That's great. Time has passed. You know how? A character has a beard. Like, shut up. That's like the best trope on TV, right? And once I was reading about John Malkovich, it's like I thought he was going to be the puppet master.
Yeah.
And it's clear he's Mole Man now because of all that shit that's going on.
Okay.
And do you see all the people like hiding underground? It's like, yeah, because the Mole Man's a good guy by Act 3, right? He's saving everybody from Galactus. I mean, this whole fucking thing, it's like, I can't wait. Anyway.
I almost want to, now that I think about it, when I see Ben Grimm with the beard. It's me eating my chips, I hunger.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'd make a horrible Galactus. Horrible Galactus.
All right, you were in the middle of something. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, seeing Ben Grimm with the beard. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I wanted to call him Rabbi Ben Grimm.
Oh yeah, but it's like he's fighting black suit Spider-Man for like the middle part of the movie. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Say it.
Secret Wars is gonna be great.
Say it. All right, man. I gotta get going.
Yeah, man.
But that was a blast. Thanks for suggesting Starman. Are we really doing They Live? That'll be.
Yeah, if you want to, I'll do it.
Yeah, They Live. It's not a waste of your time. It's gonna be one of those rare movies that cross over into like that we enjoy together. Like I can just look at it and go full on sci-fi, and you can be like, wow, there's like 1,000 horror movie tropes in this. I better not tell Larry or spend all the time interrupting him explaining how this movie really works, because that'll blow his mind, because he's like, I thought it was this and it's so much better. Anyway, you'll love it.
Okay, I'm excited.
All right, thanks to Timothy, Tony. I don't know if Chris Sagsag made it today. Maybe he did.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I don't know, but some people are watching. I appreciate it. Thank you, Randall.
Thank you.
And They Live next Tuesday, right? Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
You do Tuesday? Oh wait, I can't. I can't do next week at all.
Oh, is it SDCC?
No, that's the third week. Here, okay. Let's say goodbye to everybody, and I'll tell you offline.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. End story.